The Oregon Ducks set to get after it at home against Illinois. Oregon, 21.5-point favorites in Autzen. Now we'll give you our prediction in this game and a pick against that number for those of y'all looking to maybe just sprinkle a little bit against the spread. Before we get to that, though, make sure you're subscribed to the On3 YouTube channel. Also, the hard count brought to you by our friends over at Prize Picks. Have a square now that we really like in this game. We're going to tell you about it a little bit later before our prediction, but just making sure we're on the same page. Using code HARDCOUNT now, when you do that at prizepicks.com, $5 on lineups gets you $50 in promo funds. Not a bad way to live. So again, fade or follow, but got a square that we like a lot a little bit later. So let's get to this. 3:30 Eastern, CBS. No SEC on CBS jingle. It'll be the Big Ten on CBS jingle, so we'll enjoy that one. Let's start with the home team here. Oregon, unbeaten, number one in America. Dan Lanning asked about that at his press conference this week, answered it in 2 words. Who cares? And so if that's truly how Oregon plays in this football game, it could turn out being a 21.5 point, I guess 21.5 points is impossible. It could be a 3-touchdown victory by Oregon because the personnel, I think, has a superior advantage here for Oregon, all right? We'll say that much. Now, do we think that that's the way this game is going to play out? Remains to be seen. But at the end of the day here, like for Oregon, keeping the main thing is what this is about. Because you beat Ohio State, then you go on the road, night game, Purdue, Friday night, kind of short week, weird vibes, and you handle business. So the question then becomes is, okay, well, did you flush that Ohio State game out of your system and now we don't have to worry about the letdown spot? Or is it a situation where maybe that letdown spot is just a delay for you? Maybe it's a little aftershock. Maybe you were on super high alert because you had Purdue on a short week on the road and all those things made it too obvious. Curious to see. Now for Illinois, we have a label we use on this show for teams like Illinois. We call them cockroach teams. And we mean that in the most endearing way possible. Like Iowa is a cockroach team. Iowa State under Matt Campbell, cockroach team. Kentucky under Mark Stoops, cockroach team. And what we mean by that is it doesn't matter who's on the roster as long as you have that head coach overseeing that program. They're going to be physical, they're going to play a certain way, they're going to be disciplined, and they're going to be extremely tough to kill. Regardless of whatever the preview magazine tells you or the returning production numbers tell you, like they will be the same kind of team year in and year out because of who their head coach is. Again, that's Illinois right now under Bret Bielema. Now, it's worth noting here, this Bret Bielema football team, a little bit of a, I don't know if different look is what I would say, but maybe a different weapon in the arsenal with Luke Altmaier at quarterback. How would this game end up in an Illinois win? That's really what's worth discussing here because like 21.5 points as the spread, it's just stating the obvious. Oregon, at the end of the day, has, let's call a spade here, better players. They're at home. So what would it take for Illinois to win the football game? That's what we should discuss here. So for Illinois, I think you would need the old keep away / chaos special to get it done in Autzen. Now, the keep away part of this would require you running the football at a high level. Now, Illinois, they are a 55% run the football team, and I think that would be phenomenal if you could have some success on the ground. Oregon, the numbers are a little bit skewed, I think, because of when they pulled their starters from the Purdue game, but still, Purdue ran for 200 yards against Oregon. Now, they scored 0 points, so take how much meaning from that as you want to, but the point remains the same here. There is video evidence now of teams running the football against Oregon. Against what string? Again, another discussion. But the thing for Illinois, it's not just the ability to run the football, it's the ability to then be able to throw the football downfield off of that. Because I mentioned Illinois, 55% run. The more intriguing stat here, 8.1 yards a pass, and they're 102nd in the country in passes a game. Translation, they want to run. When you overcommit, take some shots downfield. Can they do that in this game? Because that would, again, require success on the ground early and then having moments downfield later in the game you can maximize and capitalize on and make this thing interesting. Speaking of the chaos, I think it would also probably require that Oregon letdown that we alluded to earlier. And honestly, like that's the trickiest part of this for me to square. because the Ohio State win was huge. The Purdue game, you passed that test with flying colors. I have a hard time believing Oregon's going to go out there and just lay an egg. Now, we have seen Dillon Gabriel at times make some ill-advised throws. Happened against Purdue. It happened previous to Ohio State, a couple of red zone interceptions you don't love against Michigan State, but still, at the end of the day, like, Oregon just continues to trend upward. So going back to the whole deal with running the football and offensive success, I don't think it's a thing where you just straight up stonewall Oregon when they have the football. I think a lot of it is going to have to be, can you elongate drives, shorten the game, and keep that Oregon offense off the field? Because if you have to play catch up, you get down 10, you get down 14 if you're Illinois, it's going to be a tough day at the office. So, what's our pick in this game? Well, first, our prize pick in this game, the square that we love, Evan Stewart, more than 56.5 receiving yards. He has been surging as of late. He has had more than that the past 2 games. So we'll take the more there on Evan Stewart on his total receiving yards, 56.5, code hard count, $5 in lineups, gets you $50 in promo funds. Go ahead and lock that in. So Oregon, I think, at the end of the day here, is just far too multiple, and they've become far too multiple. They can run the football. Will Stein's got it dialed in. I think Dillon Gabriel, too, is operating at a really elite level offensively. I think he's really speaking the language, or so it looks to me from the outside looking in. That's helping his offensive line, helping his receivers, and helping guys like Evan Stewart get involved like he has the past couple of weeks. Tez Johnson, he's always been involved. He's a freak show. Ferguson at the tight end, like they got some real deal weapons now to where I don't think you can just focus on one part of this Oregon offense and stop it. And then speaking to what Illinois does offensively, like I just think that front seven for Oregon is too ferocious to get pushed around. I think they'll correct what happened against Purdue. I think that the guys that are going to be asked to step up and fill against the run here, I think they're going to answer the call to action. At the end of the day here, I think Oregon's DNA traits from Dan Lanning are massive, and it's something I think is 100% real. The team takes on. It's one thing for a coach to say that. It's another for us to talk to Dillon Gabriel on this very show and him to essentially echo that sentiment. Maybe more importantly, Dillon Gabriel has been in a situation like this before and had things go left. Last year at Oklahoma, they beat Texas. He's in the Heisman conversation. He's having success. They end up losing 2 games that year and not finish the way they wanted to finish in the regular season. So I think Dillon Gabriel learning from that situation and being able to keep his guys locked in will be the differentiating factor. I don't think Oregon covers the 21.5. Just quite frankly, I think Illinois is not 21.5 points worse than Oregon when it comes to the flow of this game. I think Oregon wins. I could see it being like a 17-point Oregon win, 14-point Oregon win. Maybe it's kind of a backdoor cover here from Illinois. Regardless, we'll take Oregon to win, Illinois to cover. The Ducks stay unbeaten, and they stay your top team in college football. Make sure you're subscribed here. Use that code. Just helps us do more, helps us let the people at Prize Picks know that y'all are dialed in, so thank you for that. But again, subscribe to the channel so we can do more content that you want to see. Hey, appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Enjoy this college football Saturday. We will see y'all next time.